G5 man, how are you? Oh my goodness. I hope you've had a good 30 days. And man, I know you had a busy day. I know you lead busy lives, so I'm going to get right at it. If you're brand new on the call tonight, welcome, welcome, welcome to your first G5 men's call. And we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to give you 30 minutes of a lot of information. So I hope you've got your pens ready, your smartphones ready, your iPads, whatever you're doing to take notes, because I promise you, I not only want you to hear this and do this, I want you to tell somebody else, train your team. This is great information for anybody in your life. And so I'm very fired up about it. I want to talk to you tonight about the power of change. The power of change. Leaders do four things, and one of the main things they do is they create positive change. Most people wait for things around them to change. Great leaders create positive change. I want to ask you, do you have the courage to change? Do you have the courage tonight to change directions? Do you have the courage tonight in your life to just begin to change your course? Beyond your changes is where all the new things in your life that you care most about live. And we've got to make changes. If we don't make changes, nothing is going to change. I think you would agree with me on that. Now, I've heard this all my life, and I think you have too. I have heard all of my life that when people know better, they can do better. Have you ever heard that? I've heard it. I've heard people say over and over, people cannot do better if they don't know better. And I do believe that you can't do better without knowing better. But I haven't always found it true in my life, or in people that I lead, or people that I coach, or people that I pastor. I've often seen that we know better, and we still don't do better. My wife's been having me, my therapist told me to talk about this, so I got to get it out, okay? My wife's been having me eat chicken and salad. And I know when I go out and have ribs and they ask, do you want the fries or salad? I know I should say salad. But most of the time I say, just bring the fries. Now I know better. When they talk about a chocolate sundae with that caramel running down and that chocolate in that ice cream and man, this chocolate thunder, can I tell you, I know better. But a lot of times I don't do better. I have found out in my life, it's not the absence of knowledge that always deters or determines your actions or behavior. I have found out in my life that the absence of knowledge is not always the thing that keeps me from changing my behavior. I have known better and still did not do better. Can you think about a time in your life where you knew better, but you still did what you knew you shouldn't have done? Leaders make positive change. I want to challenge you tonight as you're taking notes right now. What are 5 changes that you could make right now that would be life-changing? What are the changes in your life, in your health, in your spirit, in your thinking, in your attitude that would change everything for you? Would you agree with me that the gap between knowing and doing is really, really big? And it seems to grow bigger every day because knowledge is abounding and doing seems to be harder and harder to do. I just want you to know tonight that not just knowing is not enough. And knowing gets you nothing. You see, I know a lot of people that they got a good job, and they used to show up, and they used to give their all. They used to show up on time. They used to show up, and they didn't take 2-hour lunches. They used to show up and be all in. They knew how to get along. They knew how to get projects done. They were disciplined in their work. They didn't do shoddy work, but they knew, and then somehow they lost it in life. I know a lot of people that know not to show up to work and play video games and go on the internet when they should be working. I mean, I just want to talk to you about this tonight because I have started to understand that knowing and doing are two very different things. But isn't it true? Isn't it true that the people you love and respect and admire the most are people who you've watched make positive changes? They had the courage to change. They had the courage to change courses. They had the courage to step out and move in a direction that they needed to go. And you know what that is in your life. And isn't it true that we admire those people the most? When they tell us their story, we just admire the fact. And we almost think there's some big secret in it. But we really admire people that have the courage to say, I'm going to change, and then they stay the course until the change is made in their lives. I promise you, if I had more time tonight, I would really draw this out much, much deeper in your life. Because the Bible is full of stories of men and women who were asked to change, who had the courage to change, and they followed through on that change. I want your story. I want you and your family. I want the legacy of your life, men, to be somebody that saw the change that needed to be made in this world, and you had the courage and the discipline and the heart and the passion and the fight to go make the changes that you need to make. Isn't it true sometimes that we can see the changes that everybody else makes? Oh, I know all the changes that you need to make, and sometimes it's so hard for me to see the changes that I need to make. See, some of us tonight, let's just be really frank and open and transparent. Some of us want our world to change. And the truth of it is the world is waiting for you and I to change. It's not what you're doing right now. It's what you're not doing that you should be doing that is the biggest challenge of your life. I heard a story today that in early medicine, they couldn't figure out why they kept losing babies. And this disease was amazing, and it was rampant. Babies were dying, until one day, a doctor came in and noticed that the doctors in the morning that were delivering babies did not wash their hands before they delivered babies in the afternoon. And the doctor came to him and said, guys, we're the problem. We need to change this. And 30 years later, they took his advice. I'm going to beg you tonight, man, to not wait 30 years to make the changes that you need to desperately make in your life. I want you right now to step in and say, I'm changing. See, here's what I know. If I could sit down and have a cup of coffee with every one of you, I know this. I know you know at least 1 to 2 to 3 things that need to change. And I'm going to ask you to have the courage to change. How do I create this positive change? How do I change the things that I need to change? I got to tell you, again, I want to remind you, man, sometimes it's so easy to see the changes that our children need to make. Sometimes it's easy for us to see the changes we wish our wives would make. Sometimes it's changes that we see our employees need to make and change. I want to ask you tonight to focus on you. How can you and I bring positive changes? Here's the truth. In order for me to get to the next level, I've got to make the changes. Nobody's going to do it for me. I can't delegate it. I've got to lead myself well. And I've got to lead myself through change. Is there something that you need to break free from? Is there something that you need to stop? Is there something that you need to start? Is there a fear that's been holding you back? Do you not really truly know who you are? Is there something in your life right now? Isn't it amazing how ego will make you hold on to a failed idea or a failed behavior where we justify instead of making the change? Well, if you will allow me tonight, Romans 12, 1 and 2, and the good news says, offer yourself as a living sacrifice to God, dedicated to his service and pleasing him, and let God transform you inwardly by the complete change of your mind. Another translation says, renew your mind. This is why we encourage you to get on calls like tonight. And I want to applaud you for doing that. I want to applaud you for the books that you're reading. I want to applaud you for the downloads and the podcasts that you're listening to. I just want to applaud you for that. But Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So tonight, I want to give you 7 things really quick. These are so practical. They are so simple. But men, they're life-changing. They will give us the ability to make the changes that we so desperately need to make in our lives. So, number 1, are you ready? Trust God's power in your life, not your willpower. There has been so many things in your life that you thought you could change. I've got men listening to me right now that there are great ideas inside of you. There are great businesses inside of you. There are great moments in your life that are waiting to happen, but you keep relying on you. And right now, I believe with everything inside of me that every man on this call, right now, we are being asked by our Maker to not trust in our own might or our own power or our own strength or our own wisdom. I think right now, we're being challenged to say, hey, will you enter into a whole new power in your life? Jeremiah 12:23 says, can a leopard take away his spots? Nor can you who are used to doing evil start doing good. You know that stuff in your life that weakens you, that doesn't give you strength, that takes your moral fiber away from you? I'm talking about making those changes. Some of us have been battling the same fears and doubts and enemies and chains for way too long. I just want to encourage you tonight to step up, and here's what I know. I hear so many of you right now say, Tim, if I could have changed it, I would have changed it already. If I could have done it in my own power, if I could relate more to my wife or relate more to my children or relate more in business, if I could lose my fear of not being controlled any longer by the world and its thoughts and its ideas, if I could get control. So I just want to ask you, my name's PT. I just want to ask you, will you ask the Holy Spirit tonight? Help me make the changes, God. I will tell you, you don't know this about me, and most of you would never believe this, but most of my boyhood, I was so shy. I was shy, and I would always push other people forward. But I knew if I was going to reach my destiny, I had to get out of myself. I could no longer stay in the prison of this is who I am. I had to walk into the freedom of this was who I was made to be. So I just want to encourage you. Philippians 4:13 says, I can master anything with the help of Christ who gives me strength. Where are you getting your strength from? Where are you getting your strength right now to stay in the battle? I've got men on this call right now. You're facing the biggest challenges of your life. You've got new destiny, there's new careers, there's new dreams, there's new vision, and some of you right now are paralyzed. Take on this new strength. The second thing is get the right people around you. Get the right people around you. Some of us, guys, we just got the wrong association. We're hanging with people that, honestly, they don't have any dreams, they don't have any fire, they don't have any passion. They're not hungry. I just beg you to get right association in your life. And some of you are going to get under a lot of attack because all of a sudden you're not going to go where you used to go. You're not going to listen to who you used to listen to. And honestly, those closest to you, they're going to attack you. And you're going to have the courage to change the course and stay the course. You're going to have the courage to say, you know what? I'm going to focus on being with people that will help me and not hinder me. You know boys grow into men in the presence of other men. And men, it's not like us together with other men. We've got our networks. I know somebody that can fix air conditioning and brakes on cars, and they can fix anything. We don't really know too much about friendship. Being close to another man, that's like, that's that. And yet, can I tell you, you long for it, men, more than anything else in your life. It's why when men come out of the theater fighting in war, they want to go back. Do you know why? In the Marines, they literally teach you to rely on other people. On a team. Don't go alone. Some of you are isolated and you don't understand what it's doing to you. In Proverbs 27:1, it says, as iron sharpens iron, so people can improve each other. I want to be around people that make me want to be better. They put a desire in me to do better and be more and become all that I was made to be. And if I'm a little too passionate for you tonight, I'm sorry. But can I tell you, man, we've got to take our place. And we've got to stand up and we've got to begin to fight. I can't keep hanging out in the same weak places and think I'm going to become strong. I've had men in my life that were made for greatness that I watched them retreat to comfort. I want to beg you to have the courage, the strength. And by the way, you're going to need people if you're going to keep yourself encouraged. You got to learn how to encourage yourself. But I'm begging you to reach out to 5 men every morning, 5 men every afternoon, and 5 men at night. And just send an encouraging word. Not a fake word. Let it be real. Dude, I know you're struggling right now. I got you. I'm thinking about you. Hey, it may be tough right now, but it's going to get better. Find 5 in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, and 5 in the evening. Watch what happens. It is a huge mistake, man. It is a huge mistake, man. It is a huge mistake for you to think you can do it on your own. You cannot. Isolation will take you out. The third thing is I want you to focus on progress and not perfection. Focus on progress and not perfection. God who began a good work in you is going to complete it. You know that dream that's inside of you? You know that hope that's inside of you? Do you know that desire for you to be the man that you were created to be the leader you were created to be? Let me tell you, man, you got to lead yourself. And then you've got to lead your family. I'm begging you, man, get a vision for your life. The enemy wants to take your vision away. Because when he takes your vision, he can destroy your life. And if you don't have a vision for your life, you will be so stuck and you will end up having somebody else lead your life where you don't want to go. Get a vision. You say, Tim, how do I get a vision? Get around people who have vision. A vision. A vision of what could be. A vision of what should be. A vision of what will be. Get a vision in your life and watch what happens in your life. He who has begun a good work in you will keep on helping you grow in his grace until the task that you are finally finished it. You will finish it. What you've started, you are going to finish. Do you hear me, men? You're going to finish. You didn't get in this to lose. You didn't get in this to back down. You didn't get in this to surrender. You got in this to win. Have the courage to stay the course. I want you to know, man, you're so loved right now. But I have so many of my friends right now, they are so focused on perfection that they cannot make a move. They cannot make a decision. And I got to tell you, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I understand this, man. I'm not coming to you like I never dealt with this. I knew what it used to be so paralyzed by wondering if I couldn't do it right, that I couldn't do anything. And here's what I found out. There is such freedom when you step out and go, you know what? I'm going to give it all I got. And I trust God to give me the power to do it. How many times? So I can tell you, get into progress where the mission and the vision and the changes that you are going to make are going to bring the transformation that you need in your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit. Watch what happens to you. It's going to blow your mind. The fourth thing is focusing your life right now on one character flaw at a time. Now, I know some of you would go, well, I don't have any flaws. And let me just tell you, you've got a flaw. And let me tell you, if you don't know what it is, everybody around you knows what it is. I always laugh about it because I know my flaws are so easy to see. And if you don't think you have a flaw, your flaw is you lie to yourself. Seriously. To thine own self be true. So right now, do you have a mentor in your life? Do you have a friend in your life? Do you have somebody that you're accountable, or do you know everything? You can't know everything. Beware of the person that thinks they know everything. We don't know everything. By the way, I'm going to encourage you, man, if you really want to make great changes in this area, be the person that starts listening. Don't make it always have to be the way you would do it. Let other people win. Let other people figure it out. Nelson Mandela was, he was an amazing guy. Can I tell you? You know what he said? Be the last to speak. Try it. If you think that's easy, try it. Try not to weigh in. When you go into a team meeting, do you think you know everything? Do you think your process is the only one that will work? Okay, let me tell you what happened to me after 500 employees. I got it beat out of me. I didn't have to have it my way anymore. Matter of fact, I would go in and I would listen and I would see, how do you see this rolling out? Can I ask you a question, Ben? What would happen on your team? What would happen in your home? What would happen in your life? And if I've got some ladies listening to me, I love you. But what would happen if you could loosen control and just go, hey, I don't have to have it my way. I know Burger King tells me I can have it my way, but I don't have to have it my way. How much more could we get accomplished? So what area is it right now that you have a flaw? That you're fearful? That you're angry? That you're isolated? That you're running? That you're hiding? That you're not leading? Where is it that you have stepped back that you need to step up? Not in arrogance, not in pride, not in know-it-all, but just saying it's my responsibility. It is my responsibility. I'm going to lead. Watch what happens. If you really want to get dangerous tonight, ask God. God, what's the one thing in my life that I need to change more than anything else? Show me. Number 5, focus on what I want, not what I don't want. Focus on what I want, not on what I don't want. Is it just destroying your day? Did it destroy your week? Is it destroying your life that you just stay focused on what's wrong in your life? On what you don't want versus what you do want? Are you looking at everybody around you, men? Come on, let's be real. And you're pointing out everything that's wrong with them instead of finding out what's right about them and hanging that picture on the refrigerator. Fill your heart with gratitude. I want to encourage you to focus where you want to go, not where you are right now. I want you to focus on where you want to go, not where you are right now. Can I tell you? I'm talking to some men right now. Hey, some of you called me this week. And it's not pretty. And you're not happy. They don't care about you at work. They don't respect you at work. Right now, you know that you're playing way beneath your ability. And right now, you're just focused on what you want, not what you're going through. Focus on where you're headed, not your present circumstances right now. What is your dream? Can I ask you, are you focusing on what it's going to feel like when you win? When they raise your hands, when you raise your hands like Rocky did on the top of those steps, what's it going to feel like for you? When all of a sudden you go from a $0 to $100 million business. Instead of you having no leaders to 10 leaders that are driving you crazy. What's going to happen to you when all of a sudden that car that won't run and it won't shut off, it chokes in the parking lot. What are you going to do when you're sitting out there in a brand new car? You better get ready now. Start dreaming about it now. What are you going to do when your marriage is whole? What is it going to do when your communication is better? What are you going to do when your children rise up? What are you going to do when your team starts outgrowing you? What are you going to do? Focus on what you want to do, not what you've done wrong. I just want to encourage you, fix your thoughts. Philippians 4:8 says, fix your thoughts on the true and good and right. Think about the things that are pure. Think about the things you can praise God for and be glad about. Here's what he's saying. Will you focus on gratitude instead of sitting around all day long and going, oh, I missed it. I missed it. Number 6, focus on doing good, not feeling good. Focus on doing good, not feeling good. Galatians 5:16 says, if you're guided by the Spirit, you will be in no danger of yielding to self-indulgence. I just want to say to you, man, we don't really have the luxury of not doing the right thing. And it very rarely feels good to do the right thing. Yeah. I would just tell you, it doesn't sometimes feel good to keep your mouth shut. It doesn't feel good sometimes not to give people a piece of your mind. It doesn't feel good sometimes to not speak up when you want your way. But you wait till you see the victory because you do the right thing and focus on that instead of feeling. Wow. My whole life people have said to me, fake it till you make it. And I never liked that. But I really love faith it until you make it. Will you do that tonight, man? Will you just say in your heart, I'm going to focus on doing good, not feeling good. Number 7, focus on victory one day at a time. Some of us are so frustrated. I will never forget when I was about 22 years old, I went to the doctor and he looked at me and he said, Rome was not built overnight. And I remember looking at my doctor like, you are such a loser. I was so gunned up and so fired up. I knew I could get more done than I just knew. I'm an arrogant punk. But I just want to encourage you, be patient in the process. You are going farther than you think you are. Isn't it amazing that in prayer, it's Matthew 16:11, it says, give us this day our daily bread. Not for the week, not for the year, not for the 10-year out, but give me my daily bread right now. Do you have enough faith inside of you to make the change? To say, Lord, today really does matter. I want you to listen to this. Just for today, I will choose and display the right attitude. Just for today, I will determine and act on important priorities. Just for today, I will know and follow healthy guidelines. God help us. Just for today, I will communicate and care for my family. Just for today, I will practice and develop good thinking. Just for today, I will make and keep proper commitments. Just for today, I will earn and properly manage my finances. Oh, Lord. Just for today, I will deepen and live out my faith. Just for today, I will initiate and invest in solid relationships. Just for today, I will plan for the model of generosity in my life. Just for today, I will embrace and practice good values. I'm getting ready to do a lesson, man, on values. Your values drive everything in your life. And some of you don't even know how valuable you are. Just for today, I will seek and experiment and experience improvement. Just for today, I will act on these decisions and practice these disciplines. And then one day, I will see the compounding results of a day lived well. Guys, change begins right now. And I want you to decide tonight how tomorrow is going to be different than today. Make just a few changes and watch what happens in your life. It will blow your mind as you move forwards. You say, Tim, why don't we change? Because it's really hard, number one, to break bad habits. Number two, it's because I've always had a mental picture of myself being this way. You got to change your identity. And the third thing is you have to understand in your life the reason that you have these character flaws. Now, pay attention, please. It's because they give you a reward. Every character flaw gives you a reward. Some of us have a flaw that we mask our pain instead of dealing with it. We shove things under the rug. We won't talk. Some of us, honestly, we medicate our pain instead of leveraging our pain. Pain was never meant to stop you. Pain was made to elevate you, to be a message to you, to say, guys, we can be more, we can do more, we can give more, we can be more. I just want to ask you, today, will you just tonight say, I am a leader of change. I'm proud of you. Go for it. Thanks for your time tonight, man.